let's get into it. Recent patches. Recent fucking patches. So first of all, they added Gunfight 3v3. I don't think Tanner's actually gotten an opportunity to try that.
I have not.
He is not. Okay. I like the Gunfight 3v3. It's pretty fucking similar to the Gunfight 2v2, honestly, except it's 3v3. I think it plays surprisingly well considering the map size. I thought it was going to be more of a clusterfuck than it was, but I've only played like 6 matches of it so far. So, unfortunately, the maps Hill, Pine, and Cargo are still in the game for 3v3.
They should not be in the game.
They shouldn't be in the game, and they're still shit. And the addition of 3v3 doesn't make it any better. Atrium is not a great map either. Krim, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely fucking right.
Atrium is actual dog shit, so keep that in mind.
It's not great, but I'm a huge fan of Gunfight, so I like 3v3. I like 1v1. I like anything new added to Gunfight. I fucking love that game mode. The next thing they did, Shipment is gone. Shoot House is back. There was a 24/7 Shipment playlist, which was a complete clusterfuck, but it was really good for leveling guns. So
it was fantastic. I finished all 4 shotguns in about 2 days of playing. Maybe 15, 16 hours total.
Yeah. So if you want to rape your KD, but also get Damascus quickly, Shipment is a really good playlist for that. Tanner and I are both in the throes of the Damascus grind at the moment. So losing Shipment is kind of sad. But Shoot House is back, which is a decent alternative. It's not the best. What I kind of like about Shoot House, though, is that number 1, it's 3 lanes. Number 2, it's small enough to where it's still a good option to grind camos. And number 3, it's not so small that your KD is just going to go to shit no matter what. You know?
Yeah.
So
closer to a normal map than Shipment is, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. We also got Drop Zone, which I've absolutely never fucking played.
Never played it, never seen it.
So let's take a look here. I'm going to pull up the primary monitor here. Just give you guys a nice little view. So community update. This is not what I wanted to go over yet. Playlist changes. Here we go. So Shoot House 24/7 is back. Replaces Shipment. Gunfight 3v3. Same day delivery playlist. Cranked and Drop Zone. I've heard a lot of good things about Cranked. But I've actually never... No, I've played it a little bit. Basically what Cranked is kind of like Team Deathmatch. Everything's normal. As soon as you get a kill, you move faster, you handle your weapon faster, but you get a 30-second timer on yourself. And when that timer runs out, you die. The way to extend that timer is to kill someone. So what's cool about that playlist is that in a shit game like Modern Warfare, where everyone fucking camps all the time, Cranked will force people to move. Yeah, it's kind of like Dead Silence is on. Exactly, Leloy.
Speaking of Dead Silence, that'll definitely be covered a lot in a future episode.
Yes.
The whole fuck Dead Silence. Anyways.
Absolutely. By the way, Big Titty Mike 12. That's my very, very dear good friend Michael Joshua McCoy the 12th. He's the one I was talking about earlier. You can kind of thank him for this whole podcast right now, because if he didn't push me into getting BO4 to play with his normie ass, we would not be here today. So
he's also recently engaged. Maybe we can get some poggers in the chat.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Engagement, by the way. PogChamp indeed. Pog champion.
Little PogChamp.
And by the way, Michael, I know you have Amazon Prime, you fucking asshole. Imagine having Amazon Prime, knowing I stream all the time, and not giving me your Twitch Prime sub. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but I've known Michael for 18 years. So I feel entitled to his Twitch Prime sub because I know for goddamn certain he's not using it.
Give him that Twitch Prime sub.
So
He used it on Ninja.
link it the fuck up. Ninja is on Mixer. Link it the fuck up, Michael, and then give me your Twitch Prime sub. Anyways, back to this.
Oh, man.
So that's Cranked, which I think is cool, but the only thing I don't like about it is that it's team deathmatch, and I'm a Dom player myself, so I haven't really played Cranked that much. And then there's also Drop Zone, which I don't actually know what that is. I meant to look into this before. Go ahead, Tanner. What is Drop Zone?
I don't know a whole lot. I'm pretty sure basically care packages fall in certain areas of the map, and there's a lot of streaks. That's about all I know. I heard it was good for shooting down streaks with launchers.
Interesting. Okay.
It's something to do with that. A lot of score streaks dropping on the ground that you can pick up.
That's cool. That's good to know, especially. Yeah, that's especially good to know about the launchers for all of us grinding that Damascus, because the launchers, the knife, and the riot shield are by far the worst part of that grind. So if you're stuck on launchers, take a look in Drop Zone. Maybe have some luck there. And then Gun Game is now in the quick play filter. Gun Game is kind of fun. Gun Game is also kind of cool if you're relatively new, because you get some experience using every weapon, and also you get experience for every weapon, as in the experience bar in the game. Get it? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that and Gunfight.
And Gunfight
Which
is
was
also
a great
good for
addition,
that.
you know. That could have been overlooked, and that could have not counted towards your weapon progression, but it does. It does. So that was fantastic that they did that.
Yeah,
Big fan.
abso-fucking-lutely. And then also Double XP Weekend is right now. So there's also a Conor McGregor fight that's probably taking place right about now. So if you guys are here, instead of watching the highly anticipated UFC fight between Donald Cowboy Cerrone and Conor McGregor, then congratulations, you're a real fucking nerd like Tanner and I. So keep that in mind.
Keep it in mind.
Keep it in mind. So just a friendly reminder, since it is Double XP Weekend, it's also double weapon XP. So don't take this time to grind camos if you're going for Damascus. What you want to do is get a weapon to max level so you've unlocked all the camos, and then immediately use a different weapon. Because the camos are always going to be there. Double weapon XP doesn't speed up camo progression. It only speeds up weapon levels. So you just want to get max level, switch to the next gun. That way you have the maximum number of camos unlocked that you can continue grinding after double weapon XP is over. If, of course, you're going for Damascus.
And that ends on Monday, January 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. So I think that about covers it for this section. I'm trying to see what else we have here, so just bear with me for one moment. Okay, let's see. Is that in my notes? Yeah. Okay. So that's basically it for recent patches. Not much has really happened since the addition of Season 1. So the next section is going to be the biggest part of this particular podcast, this week's podcast, which is going to be news and upcoming changes. So the first thing I wanted to point out is that this is actually funny, and this is not a credit to Infinity Ward. It's actually a detriment to them. They released this Outback bundle in their store, right? And it was for their Australian operator, and everything in the store is cosmetics, right? So you have the weapon skins and the operator outfits and weapon charms and shit like that. And they released one for the Australian operator. I don't know who his name is. Maybe someone in chat can tell me. But it's released...
the Texan.
It's not the Texan because it's an Australian, not a Texan. So,
but they did it for the Texan guy, and everybody was mad and said that you missed your opportunity to do it for the actual Australian.
Oh, okay. Well, rip Razanon. Hi, Kaylee. Welcome to the Dropshot episode 1. You're a little late, but it's fine. It'll be on Stitcher, Apple, Google Play, or wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts, and my YouTube channel. So, anyway, so they released this little pack called Outback, and then it took them like 3 days and a bunch of community pressure for them to like donate some of these funds to the Australian catastrophe with their bushfires.
An absolute catastrophe. Really sad. Very sad.
1 billion animals have died, and Tanner and I actually looked into this. That is not counting insects or frogs. So it's actually 1 billion, like, animals, which is terrible, obviously. But I just found it funny because as soon as I saw that bundle in the store, I was like, oh, cool. They're doing something to do their part as a big corporation to help with a global tragedy, the Australian bushfires, the likes of which we have never before seen on that continent, at least in modern history. But no, that wasn't the case. However, there were a bunch of people in the COD community who thought the exact same thing I did, which was, hey, let's donate some of this money, maybe, please, Infinity Ward, Activision probably, to this relief effort. And then they chose to donate all the proceeds from that bundle to the Australian bushfire relief. Yeah, relief. So that's cool, kind of. It is the beauty of community pressure. Capitalism works. I suspect if they had not done this, they would have lost more money in the long run. So they're willing to pay to that relief fund now so that they get more game sales in the future. But that's something they definitely should have done as soon as it released. And it's actually hysterical to me that it took someone on Twitter and a bunch of retweets for them to think, maybe we should do our part.
So that post on Reddit has 33,000 upvotes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just imagine posting an Australian bundle, a couple weeks into not even a couple weeks, way more than that. These brush fires devastating the whole country. And they did not think ever about donating anything until that Reddit post was all over the front page I think it took about 2 days.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying this for hyperbole or exaggeration. When I saw that pack, the first thing I thought was, that's cool of them to do this for the relief effort. But that wasn't the case until like 2 days later.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was crazy. But shout out to the COD community and decent people around the world for making them do that and forcing their hand.
Yeah, they did it though, so that's good.
They did it. So yeah, I mean, credit where credit is due, I guess. What's up, Chris? This is the Dropshot episode 1. Welcome, Dax BF2. Thanks. By the way, if you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts, once again, if I'm talking to random people, it's because you missed the live stream. You're going to want to see this live at twitch.tv/Razanon.
You have to. It's the only way to see it.
It's really the only way. And the next episode is Wednesday the 22nd at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you're here for that. Make sure you follow the Twitch account, twitch.tv/Razanon, and turn on notifications so you know when the next podcast will be, and your phone will gently remind you. Moving on. Something that Infinity Ward recently did was announced this weird thing they have called a Trello board. Did you hear about this at all, Tanner?
I did. I've looked at the website. So far, all I can determine is that Trello, the website looks like it was designed in 2001.
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, they're posting some updates on there, supposedly.
Yeah. So I didn't know this website existed. It does look like it's from 2000. Why can't I scroll here? The fuck? Why is this thing locked? This is so weird. I wonder what's going on. Let me try and refresh it. But anyway, this is what the Trello board looks like. Oh, I guess I scroll within this or something. See, yeah, it doesn't even work. So it obviously doesn't work well. But
it's not a great website. It's one of the worst.
It's a fucking atrocious website, but it is a cool idea. So basically, it's this big website, and it has broad categories, and then little sub posts within those categories. So category 1 is helpful links. It says server statuses, profile management, customer support, shit like that. And then column 2, patch notes, playlist updates. And then this is the cool thing, multiplayer known issues. So when all these people are bitching about what's wrong with the game, the player collision, shit like that, they have these list of issues that are known, and then there's a color that corresponds to the status of that issue. So on this orange one, for example, okay, the orange color means note. So they're obviously not managing this super well, right? They're not managing it super well, and it's a trash website. But at least they're trying.
A new one somebody has updated, I think. Can't we go on there and post things? Isn't that the point of it?
I believe that is the point of it.
And then they see it, and they color coordinate it based on if they've seen it or not, if it's fixed, etc.
Yeah, I think how it works is users like us will post to it, and then some mod from Infinity Ward has to approve that it gets shown, and then once it's shown, they will give it a color that corresponds to the status of that issue. So this one is the Stripes launcher camos do not indicate, can't even type a sentence with correct grammar here, to the player that he needs to use cold-blooded to progress the challenge. This one is pink, and it says resolved, fix is now live. And then there's another one that's green. Players are able to capture hardpoint while still in the hotel on St. Petrograd, which is a terrible map. I added that myself. And then the label's green. It says fixed in a future update. So this is cool because if you're getting annoyed with some issue in the game, you can come to this Trello board, look for your issue, and see what the status of it is. If it's here, that means they're aware of it. And then depending on the label, what they've said about it, you can either anticipate that it's going to be fixed soon, or you can see that it has already been fixed. Maybe you need to restart your game or something like that. So the Trello board idea is good. The execution was obviously not the best, but this is the first time I've seen a game do anything really like this, and I'm actually a huge fan of it. So
let's keep in mind, though, they're not doing the greatest job updating it. Granted, under the category what we're working on, they have Gunfight 3v3 release date to be determined. Guess what? It's out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, the management isn't great, but it's
a good idea.
It's a good idea, and it's better than nothing, basically.
Absolutely. It's better than them not responding to anybody on Twitter,
yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, that is great. That's absolutely fantastic. And then let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, I need to turn on my fan. But there are more loadouts coming. How many do you think there are going to be, Tanner?
I would just say an extra 5. That's all I would request. It's more of an issue now. While you're going for Damascus, you want to have a lot of classes set up, for different maps and stuff. But once you have that, I'm going to have 5 M4 classes, so it won't really matter anymore.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I agree with that 100%. I think the reason they had only included 5 was because you can change your class in game, so they thought you're not going to need more than 5. But it's entirely too burdensome on me to have me
there's too many
changing my
attachments.
classes. Yeah, exactly. There's too many attachments. I'm not trying to go balls deep in the gunsmith in the middle of a match. So there should have been more loadouts at launch. And even if there weren't, we should have seen more loadouts a month ago. So it's cool that they're going to do it, but they should have done it sooner. So I'm expecting probably about 5 more as well. So another interesting piece of speculation, by the way, if you go into the barracks, apparently your like total max level is actually higher than the supposed maximum, which would be what, 310 or something? I'm not sure about this.
Really?
Let me try and find the tweet by Joe Seacott here. By the way, Joe Seacott is a good Twitter account to follow if you're a real fucking nerd about stuff like this, because are you serious? It's going to make me log in.
Show us your password.
I could. I don't even know my password, so.
Damn, that's crazy.
Jesus Christ. Do I have caps lock on? It doesn't let me see replies when I'm not signed in. That's fucking absurd. Okay, well, never mind. I guess I can't fucking find it. But he had said someone had asked him something like, why does my max level show higher than is possible, or something like that? And he said, that's intended. So I'm not sure what that could mean. Mm-hmm. Do you think they're going to go back to a more traditional prestige system? And also, why haven't I heard more speculation about this from like Charlie Intel and stuff?
I actually haven't heard that at all until you brought that up. Honestly, I have never heard that. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to change the whole prestige system. I think what they're going to do at some point is add your prestige icon of your max rank from the previous season, like many people have asked for. So say in season 0, I achieve all the officer ribbons. So next to my rank in game, all of season 1, I would have the max season 0 emblem, you know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Other than that, I don't think. I mean, maybe they'll maybe they'll raise the rank, to 200 or something a season and add more officer challenges. But I really don't see that happening for at least a few months if it were to happen.
Yeah, I know. And the sad thing is, the rate of change we're getting right now to core mechanics like that is really fucking slow. I mean, the game came out. What, October 25th?
October 25th.
So it's been almost 3 months and nothing really drastic has changed. I mean, the biggest change they've made really is like footstep volume. Obviously, they've added content, but that's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to like changes to the game. I
mean, unfortunately, this Call of Duty games these days are a 1-year life cycle, basically. I mean, there will still be plenty of people playing it after that because of cross-platform especially. But
yeah, that's true.
It's mostly a 1-year cycle. The fact that we're getting close to a quarter of the way through and we've had no substantial updates is absurd.
It's completely absurd, for sure. Absolutely. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. But just like you said, the fact that it has a 1-year life cycle, if you expect any other core structural changes, don't hold your breath, because if they were going to change the mini-map, for example, and trust me, dude, I was the biggest fucking advocate of changing the mini-map back to how it has been in literally every single Call of Duty game except this one. I was the biggest advocate for that. And if they haven't done it by now, it's not happening, period. All the community pressure is gone. Everyone's forgotten about it. No one's talking about it anymore. They're not going to do it. So I don't think there's going to be really any core gameplay changes, but maybe a change to the prestige system is something they would be open to, because getting to level 155 it happens so fast, and like if I wasn't going for Damascus, I like the game. I have an intrinsic amount of fun playing it, but there are a lot of people that only want to be grinding something all the time. And the fact that they got rid of the prestige system and that 155 is so low for how long a season is, I don't know, dude.
It's true.
It doesn't bode well, you know?
I mean, that's how I am. I want to be grinding something. Once I have Damascus in a few weeks, whenever that is, and I'm 155, I don't know. I need something to do.
Yeah. And
like even in Black Ops 4, like I could just keep raising my overall prestige, you know?
Yeah.
I could just keep seeing that go up. Oh, let's get higher. Let's get higher. Even if it was really nothing to do, I saw that number going up. This, it's going to be nothing.
Mm-hmm. And I think their idea was that these little ribbons were going to be like a substitute for that, but that's just, it doesn't work. The ribbons are not fun to get, first of all. And even if they were well implemented, it's still, you get them too quickly, and then we're just back at square one, you know?
Especially Season 1, they were much easier than Season 0. I mean, as soon as they popped up, I was completing them in a few games to get them done with.
Yeah. Yeah, the Season 1 ones are way easier. I'm glad they took out the launcher kills, though, to be fair. I hope they never bring that back.
And
imagine incentivizing fucking kids running around getting RPG kills. That's so gross. It made me so angry in Season 0. So anyway, next up on the docket, they're going to release a crossbow. So that's a yikes for me. I don't think we have more details than that. The only question I have about a crossbow, is it going to be an explosive tipped crossbow like we've seen before? Or is it just going to be a one-tap projectile crossbow like we've also seen before?
It'll have, I think, a lot of attachments. It'll have explosive tips, maybe something like some sort of armor-piercing tips maybe for ground war vehicles.
Oh.
You know, things like that. It'll definitely have different...
You think so? Okay.
Attachments. I think so. A lot of scopes probably as well.
Yeah. I think you're right about that because, like in Black Ops 4, the crossbow was literally just an arrow that would one-tap you. But the reason you could do that in Black Ops 4 is because the time to kill was so slow that if you made a crossbow any stronger than that, it would have been way too overpowered. But in this game, the time to kill is so much faster. A regular ass crossbow that doesn't explode or anything is just always going to get shit on by any gun. So I think you're probably right. There's going to be some kind of explosive, armor piercing component to it. I'm expecting explosive, but I mean, I don't think we have any news as of now on that. What I am also curious about is if it's going to be a primary or a secondary weapon.
Primary.
You think so?
I think so, which would make it absolutely worthless.
But like the launchers are secondaries. I feel like a crossbow might be a secondary.
It could be, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, next up, there is this little article here. New 6v6 maps coming to Modern Warfare soon. Modern Warfare is getting new maps soon. I don't know where they got this information, but I've seen this on more places than one. What maps do you think we will see next for 6v6?
6v6? Ew. I don't know. I'm thinking Terminal maybe. Terminal will be a 6's map, I believe.
Terminal was a 6's map historically, since there were no 10s, obviously. So I would fucking love to see Terminal. If they do release Terminal, though, I hope they add it to 10s as well. It's big enough.
That's true. It is big enough in this game. And this game is a lot campier.
Exactly. So that would be fantastic. Rust, Crim sees Rust. Yeah. Rust would be a real clusterfuck. It would be like Shipment, though. If they allow Shipment 6v6 or 5v5, They would probably allow Rust 5v5 or 6v6. I'm also curious how many of these 6v6 maps they'll incorporate into 10s. Like Terminal, they could for sure do it on. But I wonder what other maps. Because there were...
High Rise.
Dude, I would fucking love High Rise. I don't know if that seems big enough for 10s too.
I don't think so. Not that one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd have to play it in 6s in Modern Warfare to see how it would feel. You know?
Yeah.
Another one I'm really excited about that was rumored before the game even launched was Subbase.
Yeah.
That would be a fucking great map. There's a lot of really good maps.
A lot of great maps. And I'm also would love some new maps, some fresh maps. Ideally, we'll see.
You know, I thought the same thing, but there have been 0 good Modern Warfare maps.
Very true.
So I'm not so sure. I kind of think if they only re-released maps from here on out, it would be an improvement.
Yeah, imagine that though. Imagine hardly making any maps and just releasing old ones.
Yeah, they'll get shit on. But yeah, Piccadilly's great. Yeah, that's such
Crimson,
a fucking fat kappa.
Gifted a bunch of subs, but you're gonna need to get the fuck out after that. So.
Absolutely, dude. By the way, that was a
worst
live
map ever created.
That was a live viewer comment. So if you're listening to this after the fact, make sure you're here live to catch all the fun action at twitch.tv/Razanon.
Yep.
And the next episode, once again, is going to be Wednesday, the 22nd of January at 9 p.m. So keep that right the fuck in mind. Laloy says, pay $60 for a new game with trash maps and old maps. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. So next up, we have Season 1 extended to February 11th. Are you happy or sad about this?
I don't really care. I've been 155 for a while. We both have.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not ready to release something. I'm thinking maybe there are maps that aren't, I don't know, or they're still in testing, ideally. New operators, they're still figuring out, coding, whatnot.
Right.
Something obviously went wrong, though, that they're extending it. There's no reason to extend it. The seasons are long enough.
I second that completely, and this is what I was going to say. It pisses me off that they have couched this announcement in like this magnanimous, we did this for you guys tone. Like, oh, I know you guys are still getting to 155 and you're working on your ribbons, so out of the goodness of our heart, we're going to extend the season until February 11th to give you time to finish all your ribbons. You're welcome. And it's like, hey, Infinity Ward, I know what you're doing. You fucking assholes. Just like Tanner said, you guys fucked something up, something went wrong, and now you're extending the season.
Yeah.
That's fine. And I would rather they wait until shit is not broken to release something. But don't patronize me and make it sound like you're doing it for us.
Yeah, they're not.
They're absolutely fucking not.
Keep discussing that. Let me grab something. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. But yeah, that really pissed me off. If I could find the announcement for you guys, I would pull it up, but I don't think I can find it at the moment. Yeah. So. Oh, here we go. Here, I have it right here. Here's the community update. It's been an exciting week, blah, blah, blah. We're extending Season 1, which will now end on February 11th. We've got new challenges, items, game modes, playlists, and of course, a pretty sweet crossbow that you can earn by completing a challenge in-game, all coming over the next few weeks. That's interesting. This makes it sound like they might be releasing this before Season 2 launches, or before Season 1 ends. Interesting. So maybe keep your eyes peeled for that. This wording is a bit vague to me, but it's possible that before February 11th, we're going to see some of this stuff. The new challenges, items, game modes, playlists.
Okay.
Very interesting. And then they'll also be doing the double XP, blah, blah, blah. Our new developer diary blog. Yeah. And then this is what else I wanted to go over. This big patch that's coming. So here we see from Joe Seacott's Twitter, we have a big patch. Hey Joe, when are we getting extra class slots? Thanks in advance. Should launch in January, don't have an exact date. And then further evidence of this big patch that's coming. Someone tweeted Mr. Seacott, I know it's hard to even enjoy Twitter without being hounded by people about MW fixes. Before Christmas, you said the kill feed would be fixed after the holidays. Most of us have been patiently waiting. Any update on it would be appreciated. Have a good day. And then Joe Seacott said, our next big update should have all of the fixes. We start pushing this update through this week. I don't have the exact date, sorry. And this was on January 5th. At the time of recording this, it's January 18th.
Yeah.
There has been no such big update. So
he had also said they were going to push that update next week. And so it's been 2 weeks since that.
Yeah, exactly. So the two things that I'm thinking are, number one, is there going to be anything that has not been discussed or leaked or rumored in this big patch that we don't know about? Or is it all just going to be stuff that's already being discussed? Is it already going to be stuff that we've been talking about right now?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything that's unexpected. I feel like all the patches so far have been transparent with people leaking things. You know, all the maps leaked with the star, all the operators, things like that. I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll get another operator, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah. I'm just hoping for a lot of fixes, the kill feed, all the things like that.
Yeah, all the little fixes. The fucking kill cam.
Crashes.
Yeah. The ground war crashes.
I don't think the kill cam's going to get fixed anytime soon, to be honest.
I'm not sure it'll ever get fixed.
Yeah, I kind of just feel like they'll push that one.
I'm not even kidding. Exactly. I'm not even kidding. I don't think it'll ever get fixed.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
But yeah, the big patch is supposedly, again, if it was going to be coming in January, that means they at least planned it before season 2 launches or season 1 ends. So I'm curious if there's going to be anything else, what it would be. The only thing that I thought was the nuclear calling card. Do you know where this was leaked, Tanner?
I don't think it was leaked. I believe, if I remember correctly, somebody posted something on Reddit about it, and one of the devs was responding one day. I can't remember what dev it was. And he did say that there was something coming for those people that have earned that, and it's coming soon.
So that's really cool. And if he said it's coming soon, which I think is what I heard as well, we can probably expect it with this little big patch. So for those of you that want a nuclear calling card, have gotten a nuke, and can't flex on kids, either start grinding out that nuke now so that you have the calling card as soon as it launches, or brace yourself, because if I had to guess, the big patch will come on Tuesday, which is 3 days from now, and the nuclear calling card will be released in that big patch, which I think is going to be fantastic.
Yep.
So hopefully we see that. Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I might be able to pull up what I think it will look like. Give me one second.
I mean, we'll find out since we have both gotten nukes, so we'll know what it looks like the second it's released.
That's absolutely correct.
Because we both have nukes, by the way.
We do both have nukes.
I have 2 more than him, so
okay. He got 2. He only called in 1 because he's a fucking idiot.
Game was bugged. Fix your game.
So keep that in mind.
Fix your game, Joe Seacott. So
okay, all right. So calling card. Here is what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, look. I think the nuke is going to look like one of these two. Because these two calling cards were leaked. They were rumored on Reddit. It's either going to be this one, I would guess, or it's going to be this one. What do you think, Tanner?
All I'm going to say is it better be animated and it better look great. Because Black Ops 4 had some really good calling cards, animated or not.
Yeah, that's
it
true.
Had some great looking calling cards, much, much better than this game.
That's 1,000% true.
Way better. So I'm just, if it's different, if it's animated, I'll probably be okay with it. If it's animated, whatever it is, I'll probably run it because most people won't have it.
Yeah, so no matter,
I'll be running it.
If it's Joe Seacott taking a giant shit, I'm gonna run that calling card just because it signifies I got a nuke. And by the way, if you want to see that full nuke gameplay breakdown, you can conveniently subscribe to my YouTube channel, which I've linked for you in chat.
Yeah.
So we have a couple comments from the live stream. Again, if you're listening to this retroactively, you want to make sure you're following the pod at twitch.tv/Razanon so that you can interact with us live. No paywall, no obligation. Just post right the fuck in the chat. Crimson Ninja TV says the crossbow is going to be released in the same way they did DLC weapons in Infinite Warfare. I never played Infinite Warfare, so you're going to have to give me a rundown on what the fuck that means. And then he follows it up with, if anything, I think it'll launch with Season 2. The crossbow, I agree with that. I think if they're going to do any new weapons, it'll be with Season 2, not before. But I do hope the calling card, at least, if it's coming at all, which I'm pretty sure it will be, comes with this quote-unquote big update.
I like what Taco said as well.
Yeah, so Tacos for Plebs says, animated one for a solo nuke, non-animated one for getting a nuke in ground war. I like that. I like that. Go ahead, Tanner.
I like that, but they're not going to do it. We both know they're going to make one calling card. They're not going to put in the extra effort, and that's what we're going to get.
So in Black Ops 4, we had a nuclear calling card, and we also had a nuked out calling card, which was for getting a nuclear medal in free-for-all. I think it's cool to distinguish like that, and I think it would be great if they did distinguish between a ground war nuke and any other type of nuke, because frankly, it's a lot easier to get a nuke in ground war than it is in any other playlist. So I like the idea, Taco, but just like Tanner said, I have no fucking faith that that will be the case. So
yeah, agreed.
So hopefully we see that. Anything else you expect from this big patch, Tanner?
I'm not expecting much, really. I'm hoping for new content of some type, but at this point in the season, I don't think we're gonna get any.
Yeah.
It'll just be the bug fixes.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, brother. All right, so that about covers it for recent patches and news, rumors, and upcoming changes. If anyone in the chat has any other thoughts on any recent changes we missed, or news and upcoming changes or rumors that we've missed, please let me know and we'll go over it right now. I'm going to go blow my nose real quick, but Tanner, feel free to entertain the chat while I wrangle my massive white cock out of my shorts and then piss with it. I'll be right back.
I guess we'll start talking about the Damascus part. So we're both going for Damascus at this point. I'm much further because I've pretty much been going for it since the game released. I knew right away I wanted to go for that, just because it was harder to do than Dark Matter by far. Way harder, way more time played. So I figured it'd be cool to have that. The camo's not the greatest, I'll be honest. I mean, I like Dark Matter better. It's not even animated, but it does look good. For how it looks, I don't think it's worth the grind, but I just want it just so I have it, and a lot of players don't. So I'm less than 10 weapons away at this point. I think I've got 3 or 4 pistols left. I've got the riot shield, which about halfway leveled up. Haven't started the knife. I don't think that'll be too bad. 1 sniper left, and then just the marksman rifle. So altogether, I think it's about 8 or 9, and those should go fast. It's not going to take a long time. Like, I don't need however many kills it is with the assault rifle. I think it's 800 kills, maybe 600. I don't know, but those take a lot of time. Pistols are pretty simple. Launchers weren't as bad as I thought. The Joker gave me a lot of trouble. Strela wasn't the greatest. RPG wasn't the greatest. What worked best for me was going into 10s and just waiting to get into a good lobby where I'd shoot down 10 personal radars a game and counter UAVs. I tried ground war, like people said, didn't work out very well. You can never destroy the vehicles because they hop out before. Once they're out of the vehicle, it doesn't count. So, I just did mostly in 10s. Do it passively. If you're starting the grind now, put a launcher as your secondary. Just start doing it. Don't expect them to go fast. If you know they're not going to go fast, it's okay. I know some people get to the launchers, that's all they have left. They want to get them done in 2 days. It's not going to happen. It takes a long time. Just do them passively. That's my biggest advice there.
Yeah.
Pistols will be simple. I think Leloy, which is the hardest one for you, it's probably going to be the riot shield and the knife. Riot shield is awful. I did go on an 11 kill streak with it last night, hiding in a corner in hardcore headquarters. I'm thinking that's going to work the best for me, so that's what I'll finish it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I second all of that, but especially the point about the launchers. I've been using a launcher. I've been using a launcher during this double XP weekend for like the first time, and I could have gotten like 4 weapons to level 31 before I got the Pila to 31. So even with double XP, just leveling up the launcher took me way longer than any other weapon. So if you plan on going for Damascus, don't work on pistols. The only secondary you should have is a launcher, because it's going to take much longer to level that than everything else. It's not going to be hard to level. It's fucking easy to shoot down a UAV, but it's just going to, you're time gated by how many enemy kill streaks there are, because you're not going to reliably kill someone with your launcher. And even if you do reliably kill people, you only have 2 rockets per, life or munitions box or whatever. So the reason the launchers will be slowest is because they are time gated by respawning and seeing enemy kill streaks. So like Tanner said, set a launcher as your secondary now. Use it for every UAV, counter UAV, or etc. that you see. Eventually it'll be max level, and then you can move on to the next launcher, and then soon enough you'll be done.
And then once you start using it too, after about a day, I never missed having a pistol. At this point, once I have everything Damascus, I may even run a launcher as my secondary. I'm not sure, because now I don't have one and I'm finished. I'm running pistols. I keep wishing I had a launcher. They get a streak, and I wish I could shoot that down. Nobody on my team is, unless Razanon's going for the launcher challenges, so he has been. But if you don't have that, they just have constant UAV up a lot of rounds.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's the biggest piece of advice I have for Damascus. On a personal note, the fact that there's skill-based matchmaking makes the Damascus grind so fucking terrible. And by the way, for those of you who may be uninitiated, Damascus is a weapon camo in the game, and it is one of the mastery camos. So instead of working backward, I'm going to work forward here. You have a gun, the M4. There are, I think, 12 classes of camo. So for example, you have the spray paint camos. So you have 10 separate camos that are spray paint themed. So you have blue spray paint, red spray paint, whatever. And to get the first spray paint camo, you need to kill 10 enemies. To get the 5th one, you need to kill 50 enemies. To get the 10th one, you need to kill 400 enemies. And then you'll have another camo, woodland camo, where you have to get headshots. So there's 10 woodland camos, get a number of headshots, you unlock more and more of those. If you complete all the camos like that for the M4, then you get the gold camo, which means you've done every other camo for the M4. If you get gold on every single weapon in the game, you unlock a new camo that you can use on every weapon called Damascus. So basically you have to unlock every single camo for every single weapon in the game. So that's what we're referring to here. I'm sure most, if not all of you listening to this know that, but I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that. So Damascus is the equivalent of what Dark Matter was in Black Ops 4. Mini Guy 1304, what's up, brother? Welcome to the Dropshot. You're here for episode 1. You're a part of history now, especially because I've memorialized your name in this chat, in this podcast, in the Dropshot. So welcome. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Here's a question.
We get too far ahead. Oh, are you going to do Crim's question?
Yeah, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to read Crim's question. So yeah, do that.
Yeah, so here's a question, Crimson Ninja TV. Do you think the weapons that do not currently have any attachments will get any? If so, what are they? I have my personal ideas, which I DM'd you in Discord. Okay, let's fucking take a gander. Let's take a nice little gander. Give me one quick moment.
Why don't we give
here.
our input before you read it?
Yeah, go ahead,
see
Tanner.
if we're in line.
Okay, I don't have it open, so go ahead.
I don't think they'll ever get added. No, they should. I believe. I think the launcher should have quick reload. Rounds that do more damage to air vehicles. Maybe a round that does more damage to ground vehicles. And then maybe just, a stock or something to pull it up faster. Not much, maybe it's a 15 level weapon or something, but it would be really nice if launchers had that. Riot Shield, knife, I don't really care. I don't know what they would put. The Riot Shield's already toxic. I don't want them to make that even worse.
I agree with that. I agree with everything Tanner just said. I would, more than attachments necessarily, I would introduce at least perks. So we have weapon perks already on the M4, like sleight of hand. Why would we not have that option for a launcher?
Yep.
That's kind of weird. And you could do maybe increased lunge range for the Riot Shield and the knife, or I don't know. If I thought about it for more than 2 seconds, I'm sure I could come up with other things. But like Tanner said, also, there's a 0% chance that's happening.
Yeah.
There's no way they're coding in new attachments for existing weapons right now. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
So let's pull up your suggestions though, because I am curious. If we could, what would they be? The weapons with no... Damn, this is a thick fucking... I'll upvote it. I don't give a fuck. Rocket cache attachment, stippled grip tape attachment, sleight of hand perk, fast melee perk. Okay. Fast lock perk. Okay.
Crim made that post. I saw that post on Reddit earlier today.
Oh, really? Yeah. Crimson
That's funny.
Ninja.
I read that whole thing and I agreed with all of it. That's a lot of why I said what I said, because I thought that same thing. I'm like, yeah, we do need those. Interesting.
Oh, we were talking about this too. The flash on the Riot Shield, Crim. Yeah.
So Crim said something about like spikes on the Riot Shield, right?
Yeah, enable one-hit melee kills.
See, yeah, I mean, something like that would be toxic. It'd be cool if they added that stuff in.
That's a bridge too far.
I would hate to be on the other end of it. It's a good idea.
You could do one of two things with the Riot Shield. If the Riot Shield was like the Black Ops 4 Riot Shield where you can actually get shot, then spikes would be a cool attachment. But right now, in Modern Warfare, the Riot Shield is the best Riot Shield in any Call of Duty I've ever seen. If you're facing someone, they really cannot shoot you. So if you also enable that to have a one-hit melee kill, I think it's too good. I just think it's too good. But at the same time, you get countered by thermals and or thermites, excuse me, and semtex really easily. So maybe it would be good. I don't know. But it's almost not worth talking about because, again, none of this is happening. There's no fucking way, you know?
You know, I did just get some insider information that we kind of overlooked.
Okay.
Amped does increase that rocket load reload speed. It doesn't work on the Strela for some reason. It absolutely does nothing to the Strela. But for the Joker, the RPG, and the Pila, using Amped as your third perk increases that reload speed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I always run Amped for the... By the way, here's why you listen to the Dropshot, because I bet most of you didn't know this. If you use Amped, you also use all of your equipment faster. So here's something you can do when you're playing the game. In fact, I'm going to pull up the game right the fuck now to show you guys. So give me one quick second. I have an SSD, so the game is going to launch super quickly. Go ahead, Tanner.
If you're on PC, don't use Battle Harden because it doesn't work as well as it does on console. There's no reason to use any other third perk. Just use Amped. It's that simple.
Yeah, it really is that simple. Because, yeah, exactly. If you're on a controller and your sensitivity is 9 and you get stunned, you just hold your stick all the way to the right and you'll turn relatively quickly. On PC, I have to shove my mouse across my desk, lift it up, move it back like an asshole, and do it 8 times before I can turn the same amount of time it takes one console peasant who does a little thumb flick like this. It's fucking dumb. It's one of the problems with crossplay, which I think we'll get into on another pod.
Yeah, we'll have another whole podcast about
We'll
crossplay.
have another pod about that. And in fact, let me just notate that while I'm remembering. Let's see here. Wednesday.
By the way,
Problems
that insider
with
tidbit
crossplay.
came from our piece of shit friend, Gabriel.
Oh, thank you, Gabe. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Gabe has Amazon Prime and is not subscribed to me, which would cost him absolutely no money, by the way. So, nor is he following me on Twitch. So that's a double yikes for me.
Yep.
But
double yiked up.
Double yiked up, absolutely. So here's something you guys might not have known. I'm looking at perks here, right? You see this right here? X, show more info. I recommend you guys go through every single perk if you really want to be sweaty and show more info, because you'll learn things you probably didn't know. Amped, faster weapon swap and rocket launcher reload speed. Okay, cool. More info. Does not affect swapping the pistols and knives. That's good to know. But also, most equipment is used faster. That's the main reason I run Amped, because I can mollywop my C4 more quickly and detonate it more quickly and have my hands back on my gun more quickly. So Amped is really fucking good for that. You throw nades faster, you throw C4s faster, all kinds of shit. So that's the main reason Amped is really good. And this more info thing, it applies to almost all the perks. Shrapnel. Regeneration delays 3 seconds. I bet you guys didn't know that. Spotter. Advanced UAVs cannot be marked. Let's see here. Restock. Throwing knives can recharge an extra knife, so you don't have to be running shrapnel. If you're running restock with a throwing knife, you'll get 2 even without shrapnel. Decoy, grenades, and stim recharge twice as fast as everything else. Good to know. So you can go through all of this stuff and have the show more info pane open. I'm sure you guys will learn a lot from that. So make sure you keep that in mind. All right, we have some viewer comments here. Leloy, to be honest, Camo in Black Ops 4 overall looks more beautiful than Modern Warfare. Well, here's the thing. Black Ops 4 had way better visibility, which is far more important than anything else. So if I had to pick between Black Ops 4's aesthetic or Modern Warfare's, I shouldn't say aesthetic. If I had to pick between the visual representation that is given to me between Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare, I'm picking Black Ops 4 because the visibility was excellent in that game. And the visibility in this game is atrocious. And we'll save that for another podcast. But I thought the camos and the operator skins in Black Ops 4 were way too over the top, and they looked fucking dumb. Like the stupid bunny rabbit operator skin for Firebreak pissed me off.
Yeah.
The diamond camo in general pissed me off. It's
I
like
love
this
diamond.
It's like this bright neon green and pink shit, you know? I hated it. I didn't like that at all.
I love all the weapon camos, all the reactive camos in Black Ops. They were great.
Okay, I like the idea of reactive camo, and a lot of the reactive camos were good in Black Ops 4. So, like, Dark Matter was cool. I liked it. But it was a little much. But there were other reactive camos that... I can't really think of any right now, but there were some reactive camos that were done really well, and they weren't too fucking wild.
A lot of those ones in the shop just change, like, between a lime, like a green, a blue, a purple, whatever. Those weren't... Yeah, I mean, Dark Matter on certain guns, if you weren't using an optic and using the iron sights, it was so bright at the last stages, it messed up your aim.
Yeah. Yeah. That too. I didn't run Dark Matter for that reason. That would literally... If I was using iron sights on a weapon, I would not run Dark Matter because then I couldn't fucking aim with it. But if I was running an optic on that gun, Dark Matter was not a factor. So to go through the rest of these, besides spikes, extended shield allows for more protection to the sides, but at the cost of mobility. I think that's good, depending on the cost to mobility.
Yeah.
Lightweight, more mobility, same run speed as if you had a knife. Less protection, even while crouching, it won't protect your feet. I like that too. I like that a lot. Faster melee speed. And what's cool about these is only one attachment is allowed, which is exactly correct. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
This ballistic knife thing, I mean, if this was an attachment that was allowed for the combat knife, the ballistic knife has no downside. So everyone would run a ballistic knife. Because you can still stab with a ballistic knife, but you can also shoot it. So it's just strictly better. So maybe if you had ballistic knife, converts the weapon into a ballistic knife, but your lunge range is reduced by 15%. That would be a way to balance it.
Yeah.
But I think just making it strictly better, it's like, well then you've just traded out a combat knife for a ballistic knife. Because of course everyone would use that, you know?
Exactly.
All right, the final note I made here is that the EBR is the worst gun in the game. Don't at me.
It's down there.
So Tanner has been challenging me on this because he's been working on the EBR toward his Damascus grind. I've gotten mine max level, but I haven't done any of the camos for it yet. And I think the EBR is the worst primary gun in the game by far because it has far too much recoil. And that is the only reason it's bad. It's a one-shot headshot always, which I think it should be, which is great. It's a two-shot anywhere else, which I think is fine. But no matter what attachments you put on it, it is way too fucking bouncy. And I would just rather use an FAL. So what about the EBR makes you think it is not the worst gun in the game, Tanner?
Well, here's the thing. It probably is the worst gun in the game.
Okay.
But almost every primary in this game, once you use them enough and you learn how, they're all good, honestly. I mean, the Uzi's not the greatest. It's down there too, but I can get kills with all of them. You hate the P90, you always trash talk it, and that's the gun you got to nuke with. So, if you have the right attachments, any gun in this game could be good.
I wouldn't say good. Any gun can be used. I think, here's the thing. I agree with everything you said except for the EBR. Like, the Uzi is terrible, but it still works. The P90 is terrible, but it still works. The M13 is underratedly bad. It's worse than people say it is.
That was my first nuke gun.
Yeah, I know. We just love getting nukes with shit guns, I guess. The M13 is fucking atrocious, but you can make it work. The EBR is just, I don't know, man. Unless you're only clicking heads, It's so bad to me.
Yeah, I don't know about you. Like, if you see a character, you usually aim for their chest. Well, what I do is I aim for their head,
Okay.
So usually I just kill people quicker than you do. So that could be it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Next time you aim, just aim a little bit higher. Maybe try using a controller. Maybe that'll help you.
Yeah, wow.
Just aim a little bit higher up with that mouse.
This
And you'll be good.
fucking idiot kid. All right.
Yeah, this game has great headshot multipliers. Just aim for the head. It's that simple.
Oh my god, headshot multipliers. Let me add that to the fucking
that'll
note,
be
dude.
a future episode. Headshot multipliers.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
I'm a big fan of it most of the time, so I don't have any issues.
Headshot multipliers. All right, it's logged. It's in the show notes. So, with that said, anything to add, Tanner?
I don't think so. Not gameplay related.
Just in general? Anything else we missed that you wanted to go over, talk about?
In this episode, no, I don't think so. I do miss Shipment. I didn't think I would. Kind of bored of Shoot House.
Yeah, I miss it for the camo grind, for the Damascus grind for sure. But I'm sure we'll see it again soon, and then we can get the riot shield.
Yeah, we'll see it on Tuesday. No, I don't think so. I'm having more fun on this game than most people are. That'll be a future episode too.
That can be a future episode.
Full thoughts on the game.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with it most of the time. So.
Yeah, excuse me, I was opening a Heineken. It's really grown on me, to be honest. I thought the mini-map was going to make it fucking atrocious, but, like anything, you adapt and overcome and then drop nukes on Gunrunner with a P90, which you can see the... Okay.
Well, I don't know how far back I am.
Fuck. Oh, well.
Oh, no, it did end now. Now it's back up.
Now it's back? We're back? All right, sorry, Twitch chat. We had some technical difficulties, by which I mean I accidentally pressed the wrong button, so I'm going to make sure to move that button right now so that I don't ever do that again. Let's do it this way. Okay. Sorry about that. So we're live, Tanner. You can see me on Twitch?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. What was I saying?
You're talking about the YouTube video of the P90.
Oh, yeah. So, again, anyways. So to sum this all up, we're going to bring it to chat now. Chat, anything you want to add, anything else you want to talk about related to Call of Duty and the first episode of the Dropshot. Any feedback, anything you liked or disliked about the stream, things we could improve, etc.
What is a way that viewers can put their input for future episodes? How should we do that?
Okay, so this is a good question, and I wanted to address it with everyone. If you have anything you want to add or say, you can tweet me at Razinon. That is at Razinon. This is the same person who is hosting the live stream as of now. My co-host Tanner is not on Twitter, but he's going to be making an account before the next episode so that we can...
It'll be made tomorrow, yeah.
Great, so that we can plug him and you can connect with him as well as me offline. I'm also on Instagram at RazanonTTV. Tanner is on Instagram, maybe. Do you want to put that out for the viewers or not?
Yeah, I don't remember what my Instagram is. Let me see. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. Well, he's mainly going to be using
Tanner with 4 R's. TANNERRRR.
Okay. So that's Tanner's Instagram handle. So he's the co-host. That's him, obviously. You can connect with us there. This episode will be posted in full with video on my YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/c/Razinon. Or you can just search Razinon on YouTube and you'll find my channel. You can subscribe to me there. I'm going to be posting full episodes with video to that. And as I said, once this podcast is a little further along, I'm going to be making some social media accounts that are exclusive to the Dropshot, the podcast. So,
yeah.
So that is going to wrap it up for the Dropshot. Maybe put some music in the background. I would like that. The thing is, Leloy, I can't rip the VOD if I have music in the background unless it's copyright free. So I'm going to make myself a playlist of copyright free music that I can play in the background in the future. So that's a good suggestion. Let me take that down here. Make copyright free playlist for podcast background music. Okay, cool. And then once again, I want to thank Leloy for that fucking fire resub, Dylan for that fire resub, and of course Crimson for gifting a thick fucking 10 subs. I appreciate all of you guys and your support.
That's a hell yeah.
That's a fucking hell yeah, brother, if I've ever seen one. Your encouragement keeps me going on this often lonely, arduous journey. So Tanner and I both appreciate that very much. And then last thing here, EBR best setup. Muzzle brake, 22-inch barrel, commando foregrip. Yeah, okay. I could try it, Crim, but it's going to be shit because the EBR is shit.
No, that's a decent setup. The Raider chassis is absolutely necessary. That barrel is good. The commando foregrip's good. Yeah. It's a good setup.
NCS is a great source. It's what I use normally. I'm assuming you mean for copyright-free music. So I'm gonna jot that down. So NCS source. Okay. It's written down. No copyright sounds. Oh, okay, perfect. Cool. All right. So that is it for the drop shot. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going to be gaming still, so the stream is not ending, but this is going to be me signing off for the listeners over on YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play, and iTunes, and Spotify, or wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts. Thank you for listening. Once again, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Razanon. You can see me play the game, and you can see the next episode of the Drop Shot live, which will be Wednesday, the 22nd at 9 o'clock Pacific time. So make sure you're followed up so that when I go live and the Drop Shot airs, you are there. And then Tanner can once again be found at TANNERRRR on Instagram, and he will soon have a Twitter to which you can direct your ire about the podcast toward him. And I am also on Twitter at Razanon. And the last thing I want to say before we sign off is that Tanner will have a webcam before the end of February of this month. So we will have a more complete and full video podcast experience for you all.
Okay. Wait, that didn't make any sense. Before the end of February of this month?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, of this year. For the end of February of this year. Yeah, thank you for that. So,
okay.
So we all good, Tanner? Anything to add?
I think we're all good. No, I think we're good.
All right, let's fucking game. Drop Shot listeners, goodbye. I'll see you next time.
Hell yeah.
Peace.